Hello everyone, it's Pindeni here and we are continuing on our platformer game development series. On the previous video, we managed to define what a platformer is and the characteristics they should have. So on this video, we are going to look at some design concepts we should consider when designing a platformer game. Please do check out my website www.pleasetrythis.de for more game articles and tutorials like this. Also follow me on my Facebook page, pleasetrythis.de. My other social media links are right in the description below. So let's talk about game designing. Designing a platformer game is very simple if it is done right. So I'm going to share the concepts which we should look at when we are designing a platformer game. The first design concept is the game story. Having the platformer game story is a significant design to the game. Most successful games, besides platformers, they have some story involved. We don't want players to be hopping, jumping, fighting enemies without a clear purpose of why they are doing that and what the reward is. I'm going to give an example of two stories that come out of two popular platformers that I've played. Of course, the popular one, Super Mario Bros. Of 1985. This is a story of a game character enduring several worlds of difficulty in order to save the princess. Then also there's this mobile game I played called Django Adventure 1. This is a story where a game character must endure different platformer worlds in order to save its lover from a monster. So we need a game story when we are designing our platformer, and I believe that's the first concept we must look at. Let's go on to the next design concept, which is character design. With the story now available, we can now deduce the characters we need in our platformer game. The game designer must visualize how the game characters are expected to look like, the powers they should possess, and their roles. Drawing characters can be of great use at this stage, so let me break down this concept into three questions. So question number one, we are talking about how should the characters look like? And of course, this varies with the approach the game designer wants to take and the skill level of their art. Should the game developer go with the simple art approach where the game characters are just made out of basic shapes like circle, sphere, cube, whatever? Or should they go with more complex art approach where real objects are used and characters, humans, animals, anything that relates to the real world? The other question, of course, under character design is the powers the characters should possess. With the game story as our foundation, we can deduce what powers our game characters are expected to possess. Should the game characters shoot? Should they jump, run, punch, disappear, etc.? The other question, which is the final one under character design, is the role the characters must play. At this stage, using our story, we can define who is the hero, who is the enemy, who is the friend of the hero, who is the friend of the enemy. Yes, all these roles are assigned with the game story being the core foundation in our design. The third design concept after character design is game level design. A platformer must have different levels with different themes so as to keep the player engaged. We are trying to design something fun here. In designing the game level, we should take note of the following points. Number one, the overall theme. The first thing we should do is to determine the overall theme of a game level. Examples of such themes are ice, forest, city, sci-fi world, etc. There are many there. Each theme poses different challenges and it presents a different view to the player so that we can keep them engaged, and it becomes more fun. Also, each theme has different types of enemies it is associated with. For example, if we talk about a sci-fi world theme, we are expecting to see some high-tech robotic enemies. If we are talking about a galaxy theme, we expect to see some aliens. So the overall theme of a level is very important because it helps us define what we are expecting to see, the environment, and the enemies in that theme. The next point is designing a series of challenges in order of difficulty. Now that we have a theme, it is time to arrange the level challenges in order of difficulty. We start with the simple, going to the difficult. Each challenge must have enemies related to them, as I said earlier, and also it's good practice to start with easy challenges going to tougher ones as the level progresses. Then we go on the third point, which is environmental design. It's also of good practice to model an environment that matches the overall platformer theme. For example, if we chose ice as our theme, we are expecting to see snow or ice-topped platforms, snowmen, winter trees, etc. The other point is time constraint. Most platformers get more interesting if a time factor is added to their design. For instance, players must complete a level before a certain duration expires, which has been set by the game designer, which is us in this case. We don't want the game player going shopping with our game character, so we will add a time constraint. The fifth point under game level design is designing game collectibles and power-ups. Now, to make the platformer game more interesting, it is good to add certain collectibles and power-ups that will aid the player in completing the level. For collectibles, we can either add coins, fruits, drinks, weapons, etc. etc. The fourth design concept is game mechanics design. In simple terms, game mechanics are the rules that govern how our game should be played. Each game level must have an overall game mechanics that matches our theme, and these game mechanics should feel smooth and uniform to the player. The fifth design concept is the sound design. It will be now time to add some melodies, and of course, remember, the overall theme is our guide here. Platformer melody must be sweet and engaging, giving the whole level its atmosphere. It is good also to design changes in background music for certain occasions, like for instance, the arrival of the boss or a game character dying or any other event that is of importance to that level. The sixth design concept, which is the user interface design. Game designers should consider how the players will view game-related information on the screen. This is where game user interface design comes, and it takes note of few points, which are: is the game viewport being disturbed by game-related information? Is the game-related information clear and easy to understand to the player? Is the user interface visible to the player? Because sometimes the score is hidden, or we may put a symbol that the player may not understand what does it mean on the game interface. Also, it takes note if the game level's background color is not spoiling the view of the game-related information. The seventh design concept, and which is the final also we are going to look when designing a platformer, is the camera design. In my previous video, I talked about single screen and scrolling screen platformers. So we must determine which camera view suits our game. If our game is going to be single screen, we must find a way to design the level so that everything confines into that single screen. And also, if you are using scrolling screen, we must find a way to make objects appear as the game character moves through a game level. So in conclusion, these are the design concepts we are going to look at when designing our platformer. There are many concepts we can look at when designing a platformer game, but I believe I've just discussed the key concepts that are required in making a platformer game. So on the next video, we're going to apply these concepts on the game which we are trying to make here on Please Try This. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you are new, please do consider subscribing to my channel, liking and sharing my videos. Thank you very much.